thing to say to someone. I went to Starbucks the other night, and there was this guy. And there was something interesting about him. And so I get my drink, and you know on the cups there, they have these quotes? Well, I read mine. I used to feel so all alone in the city. All those gazillions of people and then me on the outside. Because how do you meet a new person? I was very stumped by this for many years, and then I realized you just say hi. They may ignore you, or you may marry them. And that possibility is worth that one word. Hi. So I thought, yeah, I should just say hi to that guy. I should just say hi. But he was looking at me, so I looked away. I was waiting for the right time. And so I go and sit down in one of those comfy chairs, and he walks by me once, and he walks by me again. Just kind of a fast walker. So then I see him going to the bathroom, and I'm thinking, all right, as soon as he comes out, I'm going to say hi. And here he comes. Couldn't say hi. I couldn't say hi. And so I give up, and I go back to reading my book. Then, after a while, he sits next to me in the other comfy chair. And so I'm thinking, I could still say hi. But he's studying or something, and I don't want to bother him. So I just go back to reading my book. If you open yourself to new experiences, hitting the road can happen every day of your life. Try starting up a conversation with that person you're sitting next to in the coffee shop. Try starting up a conversation with that person you're sitting next to in the coffee shop whom you normally wouldn't speak with. I wanted to say something, but I kept stopping to think. And then thinking would lead to more thinking, and then next thing I knew I was playing out every possible scenario of what could happen if I say hi. And that's when it hit me. Hi is a very scary word to say. Hi could mean 1,000 things. I mean, hi could go anywhere. There's, hi, I want validation. There's, hi, I don't trust you. There's, hi, I want to sleep with you. There's, hi, I'm just saying hi because I have to. I mean, if your hi doesn't come out quite right, people could totally misunderstand you. So I didn't say hi. I didn't say anything. It's not like it would turn out to be the man I'm going to marry. Most likely, if I had said hi, it would have led to the typical, boring, mindless conversation of, so, where are you from? And what do you do? And are you married? And then I'm just going to end up having to explain myself. Oh, I didn't even introduce myself. Hi, I'm Ellie. And that was hi for thanks for coming. My friends, they call me Obvious Man, because they say that I like to state the obvious. Obvious man. Not a man. Anyway, Ellie is short for Elisa, and Elisa is short for I'm an Irish-looking Mexican. I know. I'm from Mexico. I know. I don't look Mexican. Every time I tell people I'm Mexican, they all feel the need to remind me. But you don't look Mexican. Yeah, I know. You mean New Mexico. No, I mean Mexico. Country. You don't have an accent. Yeah, well, my mom's American, so I grew up speaking English at home. Oh, so you're not really Mexican. Yeah. My dad's Mexican. I was... Yeah, but you grew up here. No, I grew up in Mexico. I lived there till I was 16. My real name is Ellie Araiza Smith. Like I said, I'm half American. You have no, okay, so I know I don't fit the profile of a typical Mexican immigrant. For one thing, I'm legal. And for another, well, I look Irish. You have no idea how many people would kiss me on St. Patrick's Day, only to have me push them away and say, Oye, ¿qué pasa? Así se toca una mujer, hijo de la chingada. I mean, what do I have to do? Go around talking like this all the time? I have to have a Mexican accent so that you believe I'm Mexican? Not you. People. Anyway, I'm used to that now. When I first moved here, I used to wish I had an accent. I felt like an alien. No pun intended. An alien who landed on an entirely different planet, except I happen to look just like the natives and speak the native language, and so no one can tell I was foreign. And because I fit in so well, I was assumed to be stupid when I said things like reproducing instead of reproducing, or Utah instead of Utah. Or like the first time I touched snow, I stated very clearly in the native language, this is cold. I knew it would be. I just didn't know it would be that cold. I always thought that snow would be soft and fluffy, not cold and icy. And the first time I saw a snowflake, I see this tiny, itty-bitty little snowflake sitting on my shoulder. And so I say to my friends, oh my God, it is so cute. When do they get bigger? And how big do they get? And do they always come down with the snow or just sometimes? Yeah, see, at that point, I didn't even really know that snowflakes existed. The only other time I'd seen a snowflake was in cartoons, and they always had these big snowflakes falling from the sky along with chunks of snow. Little did I know that snowflakes are snow, like raindrops are rain. You know, now that I think of it, that's pretty much the story of my life. I always expect this big, soft, and fluffy snowflake to fall from the sky. And then I always get this tiny, itty-bitty, little cold, sharp chunk of snow that melts as soon as I touch it. See, that's why I didn't say hi. He would have turned out to be a psycho murderer. Pedophile. Gay. He wasn't going to turn out to be the man of my dreams. My friends say I have very high expectations. I try not to, because I know, the greater my expectations, the greater the chances of me being let down. And ever since my parents got divorced and I found out Santa Claus doesn't exist, I try hard not to disappoint myself. In fact, I decided a long time ago, it is better to play it safe than sorry. It is better to stay on the shore than to get sucked in by a wave. It is better not to love than to love and lose. Which is probably why I'm still a virgin. I mean, I know it's not normal these days to be a virgin at 22, but it is better to play it safe than sorry. Anyway. Hi. I'm a 22-year-old Irish-looking Mexican virgin. What do you popped, my seal hasn't been broken, my Pandora box hasn't been unleashed. You know what being a virgin is. Obvious man, woman, girl, whatever. You know, it's always interesting to see how guys are going to react when I tell them I'm a virgin. There's the guys who are totally into it. You know, I think it's great that you're still a virgin. I mean, there are too many sluts out there, you know? Of course, they're usually the ones banging the sluts. And instead of being grateful, they look upon us virgins as toilets that have never been pooped in. That's awesome, dude! You don't even know one's ever taken a shit in that can. And then there's the guys who want to know why, so that they know where they stand. So, you know how when you're little, I mean, we all did when we were little, you think that you're gonna wait to have sex, you know, until you're married. And, I mean, most people get over that at some point, but not all people. And, that's cool, but that's not why you're still a virgin, is it? Actually, no. That's not why I'm still a virgin. I'm not saving myself for marriage. Not on purpose, anyway. I did grow up in a very conservative country, a very Catholic country, and I'm sure that had some kind of an effect on me, but no. That's not why I'm still a virgin. I am not living by anybody else's rules. Thank you very much. Much less my parents' rules. They're always the next ones to blame. No, it's not because of my parents. They didn't tell me I'd grow hair on my hands if I masturbated. They didn't tell me I'd go to hell if I had sex before marriage. In fact, quite the opposite. I remember asking my mom what sex felt like, and she said, "Oh, it feels really good." I was 5. And then I remember telling my mom when I was like 10 that I thought it was a good idea to wait till I have sex till I was married. And she said, "Actually, honey, sex is very important. You should have sex before you get married." And then my dad gave us this book called, like, Erotic Youth or something, just to make sure that we knew it was perfectly normal to have erotic thoughts and feel horny and all that stuff. I love that one. When I tell people I'm a virgin and I get don't you ever get horny? What kind of question is that? That's like asking an anorexic girl if she ever gets hungry. Gosh, she just doesn't eat. I'm willing to consider the possibility that my horniness is different than the horniness of a person who's had sex. I mean, if you've tasted creme brulee, and if you haven't tasted creme brulee, you're probably not going to crave it. But that doesn't mean you don't crave something sweet. So yeah, I get horny. I just don't have sex. It's kind of like feeling the urge to fart, but holding it in. Holding it in doesn't mean you didn't feel the urge. Okay, go back to the creme brulee. Even if you have had creme brulee and you're craving it, doesn't mean you have to have it. Sometimes it's good enough to satisfy your cravings. If you satisfy your cravings all the time, pretty soon you find that you have none, because there's nothing left to want or appreciate. It's called delayed gratification, people. I'm sorry if I'm getting defensive. I get everything from what's wrong with you to are you asexual to did something happen when you were little? No, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not asexual, and I did not get molested by my stepdad. I don't have a stepdad. I didn't get molested by anybody else either. I mean, Look, some people have even resorted to asking me if I'm gay. Why, that would explain it. I'm not sure. Although, I will admit I like going to gay clubs. Mostly because you can dance sexy, and the chances of a guy sticking his crotch in your ass are much lower. I mean, just think what it was like to be a poor, innocent Mexican girl on the homecoming dance floor. It was not amusing. Very confusing, actually. That's probably why I'm still a virgin. I've always had this sense of innocence that I can't seem to get past. I mean, my friends sit around talking about hairless Brazilian beavers. And all I can think is, are beavers in Brazil really hairless? I mean, I've heard of hairless cats. I've heard of hairless Mexican Chihuahua dogs. But hairless beavers, I know what that means now. I wouldn't think much of being a virgin if I didn't notice that most people just get it over with at some point. It's like, I've just been going about my business, living my life, and then next thing I know, everybody's doing something I've never done before. And they're all looking at me why I'm not following the crowd or joining in, for crying out loud. And some people treat me like I have an illness. I was born like this. And you know, being a virgin at 22 is actually kind of cool when you think about it. Because I have something to look forward to. Something potentially really amazing. It's almost as if, imagine if you'd been fed through tubes your whole life, and you'd never experienced the joy of eating, right? Of actually putting food in your mouth. And all you hear about is how good this tastes, and how good that tastes, and if you try it this way or that way, it's great. But you know that someday you're going to get to find out what everybody's talking about. You're going to get to experience the tasting, the chewing, the sucking, the nibbling, the swallowing, the after feeling. Just imagine if you had that to look forward to. It's kind of what I have. Besides, I haven't reached my peak until I'm in my 30s. Does that make you hungry? Anyway, even if I never have sex, I don't even know how bad that would be. Because I don't know how good it feels. Although, once I was at the zoo, I saw these two turtles doing it. And, they were going at it. Slowly, but surely. You should have seen the one on top. I could see the joy and the excitement in its face. And I know you wouldn't think you could see any kind of expression on a turtle's face, but I saw it. That little guy was having a very pleasurable experience, and just watching the way that it opened and closed its mouth, slowly and passionately. It made me really want to try it. If a turtle can have sex, you'd think I could. I'm not that different from a turtle. I also have a hard shell. I always feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I'm a slow learner. I don't know. If I wanted to, I could find somebody to have sex with. It'd probably be too easy. I don't want to do it just to do it. Besides, I've never had a boyfriend. I had a couple in kindergarten. But since then, I haven't had a full-on, real, committed relationship with anyone. I'm a 22-year-old Irish-looking Mexican virgin who's never had a boyfriend. My mom thinks I haven't had a boyfriend because I haven't wanted one. She says if you wanted one, you would have had him a long time ago. But I've wanted one. It's just that you have to consider, the first time I ever really wanted a boyfriend, I was 16, and I moved here when I was 16. And I jumped into an American high school with American boys who quite frankly at that point were like strange creatures who said the word dude way too much. Not to mention, I was involved with schoolwork and trying to adapt to a whole new world. And so I made it easy on myself. I quickly became familiar with the word stag and went stag to all the school dances. Except prom. My friend got me a blind date with a sophomore who pretty much disappeared when he realized we weren't sneaking in any alcohol. And then by the time I graduated from high school, I came out here to LA to pursue acting, and who was I going to meet? Orlando Bloom. Most kids my age were at college, and I was here trying to figure out who I am and what I want, and so I've been busy. I mean, I've been really busy, and now it's hard. I mean, I speak English pretty good, but dating is a whole other language. I mean, my friends are constantly having to give me direction. Ellie, that guy was hitting on you. Huh? Oh, no, he was just asking me why I'm so flexible. Oh. I'm not very good at flirting. The last thing I said to a cute guy at a bar was, "Peace out." Apparently that's not as cool as I thought it was. And I heard that the best way to let a guy know you're interested is to maintain eye contact for 4 seconds. 4 seconds. Do you know how long 4 seconds is? It's a long time. Lucky for me, it's not that often that I meet somebody I'm really interested in. One of my friends says that I'm just too picky. She says I'm like the female version of Seinfeld. I'll give myself any excuse not to date someone. That's not exactly true. I try to meet guys at bars or clubs or whatever, and I find that most of the time, the beauty in people is easy to see. The ugly is just more relevant. And my friends try to encourage me and load me up with dating advice like don't wear black with brown, try to be normal, and just make sure you don't seem like you're high maintenance. High maintenance? What am I, a car? Come on, Ellie, what do you have to lose? Duh! They just don't understand. Do you know how hard it is to date when you're a virgin in LA? A virgin is a lot for a guy to handle. I mean, the fact that I'm a virgin at 22 tells a guy that if I've held on to it for this long, he would probably actually have to get to know me before having sex. I mean, he might possibly have to love me before having sex. Imagine that. Investing yourself in someone without any guarantee that you'll love them, that they'll ever love you, or that you'll ever have sex. What a concept. I just have to accept that I'm the kind of girl you bring home to meet your mom, and no one wants a girl like that until they're done screwing around. It's like my friend Alexa always says. You know, some people find themselves by going through several relationships, and some people find themselves alone. Besides, why should I stick my neck out when I can sit back and learn from other people's mistakes? I mean, thanks to my friends, I know how to check for signs of narcissism, paranoid schizophrenia, alcoholic behavior, and bipolar disorder. So that I get to play it safe, and no one can ever break my heart. My friend Anna, she's a psychotherapist. She thinks I have a fear of intimacy. That's ridiculous. You know, these days people just want to constantly diagnose you with issues when you don't happen to do things the way everybody else does. So what if most of the times I've kissed a guy, one or both of us was from out of town? That doesn't mean I didn't want to get close to them. Our circumstances just didn't allow it. One of my friends thinks I just haven't found the right guy. She makes lists of everything she wants in a guy. I want a guy who's smart and who knows what he wants out of life, who isn't afraid to be himself, who's tall, rich, funny, sexy, good-looking, charming, warm, sweet, athletic, romantic, loving, etc., 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 etc. Talk about high expectations. You know, that's just it. Everybody's looking for the best product on the market, and I've just never known how to sell myself. I don't know how to bring out my best features and list what I have to offer. I mean, God forbid you tell the truth. I don't think people really want to hear the truth. Most people want something on the surface. Most people want someone that's enough to distract them from themselves, that won't force them to give too much, because you should only give when you know you're getting something back. Get a return on your investment or pull out. See, I thought the whole point of falling in love is you fall. It's unexpected, not dependent on a checklist, not scheduled in, not pre-screened. It just happens. Who has time to let things happen, right? Besides, I don't mind being alone. I find that most of the time, I don't really need a boyfriend. I don't mind going to the movies by myself or out to eat. What does get annoying is when I see couples. Couples everywhere, walking around with their arms around each other. The kind of couple that hold hands as if the world would end if they let go of each other. The kind of couple that just blend into each other. If you're talking to one of them, you're automatically talking to both of them. It's ridiculous. You know what? I pity them. Pity them because they're all under the illusion that they're not alone. They haven't gotten past the 3-month mark yet, so they don't realize that they're going to end up hating each other. Or they're past the 3-month mark and everything is still fine, which means one or both of them is not being honest. Or they're married. No, if they were married, they wouldn't be hugging or holding hands. The only memory I have of my parents being affectionate was one time when I saw my dad kiss my mom when she was washing the dishes, and I was so shocked by it that all I could think is, why is he kissing her? And I have one photo of them holding hands, probably photoshopped. And I see what my friends go through. I mean, they jump into a relationship and fall head over heels and everything's wonderful, and then next thing they know, they don't know. They don't know who the person they fell for is, the person they fell for doesn't know them, and it was all a lie. It was a drug, and it was an illusion. And when the illusion was broken, when the drug wore off. And it's just another broken heart. Or another unused heart, I'm not sure. I mean, it's not just my parents and my friends. Look around. Everybody's getting divorced and remarried and divorced again, and every relationship is on and off. Promises don't mean much nowadays. I asked my friend Melina the other day if she believes in true love. She said she does. She thinks it's a choice. And that most people don't choose it anymore because it's not always convenient. There are times when a relationship is nice and easy, and then there are times when it would be nicer and easier to be alone. I asked my dad the other day why he thinks it didn't work out between him and my mom. And he said because neither one of them was willing to give of themselves fully. Can't even say hi. And then I asked him why him and my mom don't talk, and he said because it hurts too much to know that it could have worked. See, what if I'd said hi, and he said hi, and that was it? Saying hi means having to say goodbye, and I'm not good at saying goodbye. I remember this guy. He was my best friend at the time. He said, "Whoever wins your heart won the lottery." At the time I took it as one of the best compliments I'd ever gotten, but looking back, I think what he was saying is it's nearly impossible to win my heart. Now I'm not so sure it's such a good thing. So I never had the practice boyfriend when I was 14. I didn't want the get-it-over-with kiss, although I settled for it. And although I too long for the illusion that I'm not alone, what I truly want is something real. Like the snowflake. The snowflake was real. It wasn't how I thought it would be, but it was real. It didn't just exist in cartoons. My grandmother always says that loving someone is easy. Not letting anything get in the way, that's hard. And my grandfather always says, you're ready when you realize you're never going to be ready. So what am I waiting for? I gotta start saying hi. I mean, if love really is the most important thing in life, I'd give up opportunities to love people all day long. That's it. You know, I should just start saying hi to people. I should just start saying hi to everyone I meet. And maybe that makes me crazy. Yeah? Well, you add that to the list and it kind of validates everything. I'm a crazy 22-year-old Irish-looking Mexican virgin who's never had a boyfriend. And there are some things I'm willing to accept. Like snowflakes are snow. Turtles have sex. And Santa Claus doesn't exist. But if there's one thing I'm never willing to give up on, is true love does exist. True love means you never give up. Ever.